And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 105, your weekly dose of Tuna Cup action. We're here in the quarterfinals. We have a ZvP and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal. We have the red Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. Oh, rocking that hero portrait. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you believe will advance on to the semis. Will it be our Protoss? Will it be our Zerg? I'll be honest, this is going to be a much harder one to call, as again, the big names are now facing off. I will say that I would not be surprised if this goes to the ace match. I think I lean a little bit more towards SHIN, but one of the reasons why I lean more towards SHIN is because NightMare was retired for quite some time. For those that are unaware, NightMare, he retired towards the beginning of the year. He retired to compete in Deadlock. He was competing in Deadlock. He was competing with another team, and it was only, I think it's been a month. I think it's been around a month's time, maybe 3 weeks, that NightMare has returned. He announced that he had retired from Deadlock, that he had left his Deadlock team, and that he had rejoined Streamer Zone and was competing in StarCraft 2 once again. So he has been away for a couple of months, for quite some time, and he has been slowly regaining his skill. NightMare has been streaming a lot. He's been streaming a lot on his Twitch channel. He's been grinding a lot, and NightMare has been improving quite quickly. It's been really cool to see, like, NightMare kind of getting back into form. But is he back in form, or is he still getting there? How does he compare to SHIN? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Deadlock, Deadlock, aye. Meanwhile, a big shout out to RJ Pagwick. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Papi. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Bienvenidos. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Oh. So here we go. As now we do have our Stargate opener out of NightMare. SHIN did open up with an earlier spawning pool, which was interesting. He didn't really achieve too much with his Lings. The Lings do fan out. Third base is on the way. We're building up in towards the mid game. Now, when it comes to our players and their preferred styles, SHIN, he's often one to go for 3-base all-ins. He's often one to try to end the game early. He's not really one to embrace the longer and later game. I mean, that's the case with most Zerg players nowadays. They're all going for these big 3-base all-ins to kill the Protoss player early. Meanwhile, NightMare likewise also thrives in the mid game. He's not really known for embracing Sky Toss and going into the late game, but he is willing to max out on 3-4 bases with a more ground-based army. At times is unwilling to take into Sky Toss, and that has hurt NightMare in the past. That has hurt him. If you remember, we were casting NightMare versus Beyond on Persephone last week. And NightMare, he was ahead, he had map control, he was maxed out, he had the greater economy, but he refused to take up, and Beyond had a crazy comeback against NightMare. It was insane. And eventually Beyond did take that game and did take that series. Different matchup, but similarity in the sense that was less willing to go to Sky Toss, or take up in general. But here we go. Here we go. NightMare, he does move out. It did open up a Void Ray first, a Void Ray into Oracle, and back at home is claiming his third base. Again, the goal of a Void Ray opener is to hunt down Overlords. It's to deny vision, deny scouting, and to keep the Zerg player in the dark. As SHIN moves out with the Zergling to scout whether or not there is a third. So a crucial scout here from SHIN. Last week, me and Mutes played, and NightMare beheaded us both. Oh no, Bobby, oh no. And again, NightMare has been getting back into it, for sure. That is +1 air attack. Okay, I just spoke about how we have to, as the Oracle does go down, big overextension of NightMare. I just spoke about how NightMare has been less willing to switch into Sky Toss, but here we are rushing into Sky Toss and a big scout. No! The lane does scout, the lane does confirm, and SHIN is aware. Aye, aye, aye. Basically what's happening here is that NightMare is going for currently Massive Void Rays, second Stargate, Forge as well, going into Skytos. SHIN just saw the Cybercore researching. Again, Warp Gate is already done. There could only be one thing, +1 air attack. So SHIN, he sees +1 air attack, and that screams Skytos. Now, there have been some plays in the past where you can like fake +1 air attack and fake Skytos and hope that your opponent overreacts, but it's a rare sight to see that. Again, SHIN just confirming. +1 air attack is still on the way. Lair is now done, and from here we can go for Aspire, or we can go into Hydras, and there we go. Instantly, Hydroden is on the way. So SHIN is getting ready. Going into Hydras. Meanwhile, we still have more Void Rays amassing. Jesus, how many? 3, soon to be 4. 4 Void Rays. A unique composition here from NightMare. Going to mass Void Ray. Adepts are getting called out. Barely out of range of shield battery. Another Adept does go down. Ay, ay, ay. And again, SHIN just prioritizing Hydra upgrades, +1 range on the way. Hydra range on the way as well. And how are we piecing this all together? NightMare, he is making Void Rays, but he doesn't produce from the second Stargate. I would imagine because he got scattered. So there's a lot going on here. One, SHIN scouts the attempted Skytos. NightMare knows he got scattered, so instead he does make some Void Rays to keep himself safe to sell the story, but he does not produce from the second Stargate. He does not make a Fleet Beacon, and he's switching into Ground Toss, into a Twilight Council, into a Bay, into Colossus production. So I do like this, but the problem though is that this is late, right? Late Twilight Council, late Bay, late ground production. I believe SHIN should hit first. I believe the Mass Hydra should be able to strike first here. Oh, as we're going into Disruptor, not Colossus. Making one Disruptor at a time. Additional Void Rays are revealed. SHIN, he's still not fully aware he is making an Overseer. Changeling attempts to go in as well. We're getting into Blink Stalkers. Changeling scouts the Disruptor and the Bay. Oh, not bad. Okay, he knows. Yeah, SHIN, he now knows that we're going for like a ground switch. The Hydras are amassing. Hydra speed is almost done. And you can see that SHIN is cutting workers early. He's cutting workers at 69. Nice, but no saturation. You can see here, no saturation at the 4th base, only the Gas Geyser. SHIN, he's maxing out with purely Ling Hydra with a handful of Infestors sprinkled in, and we're just pushing. SHIN is going for the 3-base all-in. He's going for it, and NightMare's not ready. He's not ready because he's mid-transition. Second Robo's on the way. Blink is not even done. But there are 2 Disruptors. And we have to make those Novas count. SHIN is trying to make his way up the ramp. Here comes the first Nova. Nova goes off. No connection. Oh, takes on 2 Hydras. 2 Hydras go down. Second Disruptor does connect as well. Gets an Infestor, but that was it. Yeah, only 2 Novas. Brutal Fungals. They lock down the Stalkers. Blink only just now finishing. 1 more Nova going up. Up. Graces the army, but SHIN, he breaks through. He breaks through. He busts into the 3rd base, and there is nothing to defend. We have 2 Colossus on the way, but again, we spoke about it. All this was delayed because of the double Stargate setup, which never led into anything. It just amounts to nothing. We have some quirky plays here out of NightMare, but it all just kind of fell apart. The 3rd base is broken. GG gets called, and SHIN will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very chaotic game 1 here. Again, NightMare, he had attempted Skytos, and I'm pretty sure the plan was to go into Skytos, but he got scattered. He got scattered, so he made the decision, oh, okay, he sees what I'm doing, time to be cheeky, time to try to catch him with his pants down and go for a ground switch. But because of the commitment into Skytos, the ground switch was delayed, and by the time he finished up Blink, I mean, the Stalkers were already going down. The army was already crumbling. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see what kind of crazy builds we have ready for us as we load into Ultra Love. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into game 2. And we'll see if we have a back and forth. I mean, game 1 was so quirky. I don't really think there's much to really gain from game 1. Like, game 1 just had a really odd build, and It hurt NightMare more than anything. Like, there was very little that he could actually work with. So I don't really think it was indicative of how this series should pan out, but we'll see. We'll see as we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. We have the South Korean Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. Here we go. Go as we are calming down, as we are going to be settling in. Have a SHIN going for his hatch gas pool, unnatural natural out of SHIN. Meanwhile, NightMare back at home just going for the gate expand. Nothing crazy. I mean, SHIN, because of the location of his natural base, because it's at the triangular third location, what does this mean? This means we have boosted creep across the map. It means the creep is going to be spreading faster across the map, and Ultra Love already has a short rush distance by ground, so this could be the beginning of a German taxi. Sorry, I shouldn't say German taxi. Could be the beginning of a Roach Queen walk across the map of an all-in. So we'll keep an eye on SHIN. We'll see if he does prioritize creep spread. We'll see if he does try to rush across the map as quickly as possible. As there are aggressive builds you can make use of off of the back of this location. So we shall see. And we're hoping for a standard opener this time out of NightMare. He had some wild plays previously. It's crazy. As our players are droning, players are saturating. Link speed is on the way. Shinny pulls out of gas. And it is going to be a Stargate opener out of NightMare. Does open Stargate. Which is what we saw last game. Now, last game we saw a Void Ray opener into second Stargate, into +1 air attack. This time I wouldn't be opposed to, once again, a Void Ray opener, but into a standard follow-up. Something a little bit more normal. But opening up in a way to kind of make SHIN second guess himself. We'll see. We'll see if he goes for the Void Ray once again. As it is going to be the Oracle first, not the Void Ray. So it does open Oracle. SHIN still being active. Is spreading creep. We'll keep an eye on the Roach Warren timing. And we'll see if NightMare can slow this down. As again, we're already almost halfway across the map. Like, that's how short the rush distance is on Ultra Love. It's crazy. And NightMare expands towards SHIN. Uh-oh. The Overlord, I believe, does scout this. And again, we're on the same screen. Like, this is how short the rush distance is on Ultra Love. We're touching tips, baby. Ay. Right next to each other. Yeah, more queens are amassing. This could just be a Link Queen all-in without roaches. As queens are aggressively pushing that creep forward. But now SHIN is droning up. Droning is saturating. Do have a faster Twilight Council out of NightMare. Twilight Council gateways are on the way. This looks like Glaive Adepts. This could either be Glaives or early Blink. Remember, there's no Forge. There's no Forge. I'm leaning more towards Glaives. Queens are pushing in. Oh, SHIN is supply blocked. Now is not the time. We have to make Lings. Yeah, brutal supply block here, but here comes the Link Queen all in. We're walking across the map. We're almost there. And it is going to be early Blink. Early blink stalkers.
Enemy has discovered us.
NightMare is not fully aware. He doesn't see him coming. He doesn't know, but he doesn't know. And no shield battery. No shield battery at the natural. No shield battery at the third base either. In either location. Shield batteries, now they get thrown down, but these are late. Oh no! Blink is not done. Yeah, Blink is not done either. Does catch one of those stalkers. Catches both. Yeah, both stalkers going to be going down in Queens. They do rally in. Shield battery is not ready. And this position might just be broken. Down to one stalker. Oof, down to 0. Queens, oh no, they target fire the Oracle. One Oracle goes down. And again, we spoke about it. Like, these kind of all-ins are common on Ultra Love. And that natural base timing was a sign of things to come. Nice focus firing on the Queens. No transfuse. No creep. Oh, but there are so many Zerglings here. Jesus. So many Zerglings. There's one Queen remaining. NightMare, he's holding. He's holding on. The SimCity working well. Only one Queen left. Nice force field. And SHIN, he's droning. SHIN, he's droning up. Hydrogen is on the way. The all-in has failed. He does get 7 probes, but that is not worth it. He had to kill the third. That was 7 probes, 5 stalkers, 1 oracle for 59 Zerglings and 4 queens. So a better trade for NightMare, and Blink is almost done. Blink is almost done, which means NightMare can counterattack. Let's go. NightMare, he can be active across the map. SHIN, he does get up to almost 3 base saturation. 4th base on the way just for larva. And SHIN, he's drawn up enough where he can turn this into a second wave. Initially, we had the Ling Queen all-in. Now, off of 3 base economy, we have a Ling Hydra all-in with +1 range on the way, with Hydra range on the way as well. SHIN, he should otherwise be droning, but he's not. He's squeezing out a couple of workers here and there. Bearing in mind that the creep is still not receded. The creep is still spreading. The creep is still branching out. Over the tuna. And NightMare, he has to be so careful moving onto creep like this. Be careful, Pappy, be careful. Storm is done. Storm is complete. More Hydras are amassing. Ooh, as the Oracle gets caught. So do the Hydras, though. Potentially a better trade here for NightMare, as he can try to chase down the Hydras at the same time. Army coming from behind. Ooh, diving on the High Templar. Brutal surround. And he gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 2 High Templar. Does force out the Archon. More reinforcements coming in. And it looks like he will reset at the High Templar counts, but at a cost. Yeah, a shaky trade here for SHIN. Was this worth it? He lost so many Hydras. So many Hydras going down. NightMare, it's time to go. Commit. Send it, Pappy, send it. As those were very rough trades. Yeah, now he can just rally. Now he can just rally across the map. Again, warpins, they don't take long at all to get from one side to the other. Stalker's rallying in, and NightMare, he's going for the kill. He's going to punish the failed all-ins out of SHIN. GG gets called. NightMare ties the series up, and we are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, 2 attempted all-ins there out of SHIN. First one, it just wasn't worth it. He killed 7 probes. He killed 7 workers at the third base. He failed to break the third. We had the follow-up all-in as well, but we saw so many Hydras getting picked off before the all-in really hit, as he was trying to catch out the High Templar. Did get all the Templar, but lost every Hydra in the process. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see what map we load into. Let's go. Let us go. Where are we dropping? Oh. So we are getting into our next game. So we are loading into the ace match. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming, WPG. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. We go. So we're getting into our final game here of the series, loading into one of the smaller maps of the map pool as well. Again, welcome 1-0 to Pylon. Pylon is known for being one of the smaller maps out there. Shorter rushes by ground, aggression is favored on Pylon. It is similar to the last game, where we saw, because that shorter rush distance, we saw that SHIN committed into all-in after all-in did fail in the end. NightMare was able to shut it down. We'll see who's going to be the aggressor this time. Will SHIN do it once again, or will NightMare kind of take that role? We go. So now, hatch gas pulls, standard opener out of SHIN. NightMare behind this, going for his own gate expand. Just catching up. I believe we already have some other updates going on when it comes to the rest of the brackets. We already have a Hero. Hero took down Nickrak 2-0, and we have Hero waiting in the semifinals for the winner of this series. Most likely, we're going to be covering the upper semifinals first, followed by the lower semis. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Here we are fanning out. We have our tech of choice, going to be a Stargate opener out of NightMare once again. Game 1, he went Void Ray. Game 2, Oracle. Game 3, we're expecting Oracle once again, but again, NightMare, he has gone for quirkier builds before. Otherwise, we're expecting something more standard. Our last game, NightMare also went for earlier Twilight Council into earlier Blink, and that did actually factor in. Allowed him to counterattack. I wouldn't be opposed to an early Twilight Council timing again on Pylon. Wouldn't be opposed to it. Just because of the size of the map. But now, SHIN is droning. Pulls out of gas, gets Ling speed. Everything so far is looking standard from SHIN. Looking normal. We're just waiting to see the Twilight Council timing out of NightMare, assuming he even gets one. True. It's game 1, he went double Stargate, which was crazy. It was lost his mind, Pappy. He lost his mind. Here comes the third. SHIN doesn't invest quite heavily into these Zerglings, so with this he can try to delay the third base and deny. As 14 Lings are finishing up. And SHIN moves out. Let's go. He has 18 in total. So 18 Zerglings. Twilight Council is going to be thrown down a little bit early. Similarly timed to last game. Similar. As Lings hit the third. Going for the expansion. Can he force a cancel? It's committing quite hard here. The base is getting low. Adept's getting free damage. And is this going to be worth it? Can he force that cancellation? It's close. He can get it up. Ooh, we'll force it just barely. Again, that was 18 Lings. 12 of them go down. It was a big investment, but SHIN gets it. Does pull it off behind this early Eva chamber into +1 melee. Meanwhile, we had that earlier Twilight Council. Gateways are thrown down, and we're expecting Blink alongside this, just like last game. Stasis trap is denied. Blink is on the way. A little bit delayed. We have a gateway explosion getting up to 6 gates. So 6 gate setup in the main. And it's been a while. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it's been a while. We could see NightMare just go for an 8 gate all in, but he's double expanding. Bold move here by NightMare. Does double expand. Shield battery is done. Lings, they do pick up some adepts. Not the best trade though. That was 11 Zerglings for 1 adept. Ay, ay, ay. SHIN pulls away. And SHIN, he doesn't check the 4th base. If he were to, I mean, he could force a cancel. He's rotating. Yeah, he does rotate. He does check. And will deny. And the army tries to respond. Once again, we get a full surround. A nice cancellation. SHIN containing NightMare. And SHIN is building up into Hydra, or into Lingbane Hydra. There's that Baneliness, there's that Hydra Den. SHIN double expanding, getting a 4th and 5th base. Ooh, as NightMare, he's out of position completely. As Stalker's out of position, Lings a bust into the mineral line. Shield battery goes down. Oof. Doesn't get the workers though. NightMare does warp in time, but he's stuck at home. And we're still waiting to see if SHIN does drone. Oh, let's see. Throws away a lot of Zerglings here. And 23 Lings for one Stalker so far. Tries to get another. Dive on the High Templar. Gets a Templar. Gets 1. Gets 2. Gets 3. Wow. Gets all 3 High Templar. Ay, ay, ay. The +1 melee Zerglings. 3 High Templar go down. Okay. Let's go. So we just warp in. Again, Storm is done. But Storm was not ready. SHIN joining up to 74, joining up to almost 80. And once again, he wants to force those early storms. And this is worth it. This is so worth it for SHIN. Sniping High Templar, forcing out storms, catching stasis traps. Just slowing down the Protoss. Now we can focus and fixate on army production on purely Lingbane Hydra. Here we go. And this is all lined up. +1 range, Baneling speed, and Hydra speed as well. All kicks in. It's going to be a tough hold. How many High Templar? 7. Okay. Despite sniping High Templar earlier, there's still 7 Templar left. We have a wall of shield batteries, cannons, stasis traps, and 7 High Templar, 7 storms. It's not going to be easy to break. And SHIN, he's going for it. SHIN, he's making a choice here. If he wanted to, he could throw down gases. He could throw down Infestation Bit, take up into Hive, and take up into Lurkers, right? He could be taking into Lurkers right now, but SHIN is choosing to max out on Lingbane Hydra to end the game. So he's going for a lair-based all-in, choosing not to take up into Hive. Fleet Beacon's on the way. The longer this goes on, the better it is for NightMare. This is essentially SHIN going for an all-in, and NightMare, he's working towards Skytoss. 2nd Stargate, Fleet Beacon. Skytoss is coming. We gotta go. Oh! Storm goes up. High Templar, they force him off into Archon. 0 Templar left. No storms. Yeah, no storms. Banelings, they head into the mineral line. Hydras, they push in. Rest of the army's out of position. And not quite in position. Banelings, they crash into the mineral lines. Probes are going down. And so will the expansion. And you can see the High Templar, they're so late. Yeah, Templar, they're late to rotate, and the base will fall. And SHIN, he got what he wanted. Yes, respect the main army. Forcing out storms. Yeah, Lings, they move in once again. They force out the storms. There's what, 2 storms left. Down to 1. Down to 0. Yeah, that was the final storm. Archons are morphing in. There's not that many Hydras remaining. We're start stepping in, focusing on the Archons. Gets 1. And barely gets the other. And SHIN, it looks like he has done it. Cancel the expansion. From here he pulls away. Rebuilding. 10 more Hydras, 10 more Lings. And SHIN, he has broken the back of NightMare. At this point, he has broken his back. Catching out more Stalkers. Brutal catch. Late reaction. There's some High Templar trickling in. Once again, Lings, they go for the surround. Oh, they get 2 more Templar. There's 1 Templar left. Uno más, papi, uno más. And SHIN, he wants it. Things, they once again force a storm. They focus fire the High Templar. Templar does not get away, and SHIN has done it. He has broken NightMare. Again, NightMare, he had a massive army, but remember, all the setup was here. The cannons, the shield batteries, the stasis traps, the High Templar, the entire army, or most of the army was here at the 4th base, not at the 3rd. So NightMare, he was just out of position. He was caught out of position. If his entire army was ready, or if SHIN had pushed towards the 4th base, maybe NightMare holds. Maybe NightMare holds, maybe he defends, and he gets into Sky Toss. But again, he was not in position, not at the 3rd base. And with that, SHIN will overwhelm. Slings, they're going to be overwhelming, they're going to be breaking through. We have some desperation storms here towards the end, but no shot, no shot. As GG gets called again, NightMare, he has nothing to work with. He's got the 1 Tempest shelling away, and SHIN, he will take the series at 2-1, advancing on to the semis. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, SHIN, he will claim the series. An intense back and forth, and as I mentioned, even here in this game, NightMare, he had a chance to defend, to recover, to be able to defend the 4th base specifically. As we pointed out, again, he had a wall of cannon, shield batteries, stasis traps, storms. He had most of his army at the 4th, but that's not where the fight happened, right? That's not where it happened. As a result, he was late to respond, late to rotate, and SHIN was able to abuse the more exposed 3rd base instead. With that, GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he will advance on, and now we are getting ready for our next series for the semis. Exclamation mark, and be in the chat to have a look back yourselves. Also, a shout out to NightMare. Big shout out to NightMare for competing here tonight. Does go down in the quarterfinals, but hey, he made a series out of it. And as I mentioned before, NightMare, he only recently returned from retirement, right? Like NightMare, he only recently returned. He has been gone for quite some time, so he's still building up, still getting there. With that, GG.